good evening. I'm dead nervous. I'm never used to being me. I hate being me. It's horrible. So I've got a bottle of wine to finish off. I'll loosen up after this. And a bottle of gin. That's good. Oh, yes. Hello. That's better. Hello, hello. We've got some questions, I think. So, who's first?
Harry, is it true you have no personality and that's the reason you create characters?
Fuck off. Next question, please. No, I'll answer you. I'll tell you, it's true, yeah. Well, I have a personality, but I've got lots of them. And that's the trouble. So, you know, this is why I hate being me. Because I'm not sure which me to be. And, you know, if I'm in a cab and someone recognises... You know, people on the street, all right, mate, I'm all right, mate. If I'm with my parents, I'm, hello, how are you? I'm a middle-class boy, you know, and I just change all the time. I always want to please people. And years ago, I was doing loads of money in Stavros. I was going on tour. I went on Wogan and as myself, and I talked. And the next day, this bloke came up to me and said, "Oh, you're Harry, aren't you, Harry Enfield? Oh, great to meet you, mate. Great to meet you. I'll tell you what, though, I saw you on Wogan the other night. You're in half a fucking wanker in real life, aren't you?" To which I said, "Oh, yes, sorry." I said, "Sorry, yes, I am. Yeah, sorry." Rather than going, "Fuck off, you rude bastard." "Sorry, yes, I am. Sorry." Yeah. He said, "Don't worry about it, H. Be lucky. Nice to meet you. Bye."
How did you first get started in comedy?
Well, I had a friend called Brian, who was a very funny guy at university, Brian Elsley, who now writes for television. And he said, "Do you want to write a show with me and do a show with me?" So we did, called Dusty and Dick. And we were very good at it, and that's where the actual... that's where that started, really, because... and it really came from people like Ned Sherrin, do you know how I mean? When I hear him on the radio, he always sort of sings like that, you know. And he'll tell a joke, and then he'll smirk it in. And we were doing this circuit in London, and, you know, it was pretty vicious. One of these clubs, the Tunnel Club, there were lots of places like this, full of Millwall supporters, people like this, gave everyone a terrible time. They just wanted to bottle you off straight away. And you'd do a tryout there before you got a gig, and there were lots of clubs like this, and we'd come on. That's how we'd start. We'd say, "Very pleasant evening to you all, and what a splendidly pleasant evening." And he'd say, "Yes, it's made all the more pleasant by having such a splendidly pleasant audience." And we go, it's all these Millwall supporters who are all and we just slobber on them, and I would literally slobber on them. Sometimes. We appeared on telly once. We were on a talent show in 1984 called The Fame Game.
In the Fame Game.
Say, Dusty, why don't you do one of your thrilling sketches of contemporary political satire?
Oh, shall I?
Go on, Dusty.
OK, then. Can you guess who this chap is?
Why, that's uncanny. It's Neville Chamberlain to the T. And, of course, you do many other marvellous impressions, don't you, Dusty?
Yes, I do. Who's this?
Well, that's easy. It's Winston Churchill. Oh, he's no friend of Winnie's. It's her Hitler.
Right again.
Mussolini.
Oh, and I didn't even realise I was doing him. Oh, dear. And lastly, but not leastly, can you guess who this chap is?
I think I'm very much in favour of these modern methods of childbirth. I mean, absolutely marvellous.
Yes, you've got it, ladies and gentlemen. It's His Royal Highness, King George V.
Anyway, they had like all these things and you could vote, and, you know, 150,000 voted for them. 16 people voted for us. We were last. Oh. So that was that. Then I went solo, and I used to do an act called, in the same clubs and things, called Sir Henry. And the great thing about a lot of those clubs in London is that the compares weren't very funny. They'd come on and say, "Now, here he is. He's not from Southgate. He's from Enfield. Harry Enfield." You know, and I come on, and I just come on and go, "He's very good, isn't he?" Isn't he good? Not from Southgate, Enfield. Very good. Isn't he good? Very, very good. Worse. Isn't he worse? Isn't he good? And the last act, and usually the act before had been crap too, and I'd repeat all their crap jokes. It's horrible. That was half my act, just repeating their jokes. And being ruthless, being horrible. And then, but the highlight of that act, of Sir Henry, was talking cigarettes. This is my ventriloquism act. Very good act for the pub. You can all do it when you get home. And this was my talking cigarette, and it went something like this. This was, this is my friend Tim. Hello, Tim. How are you today? Excellent. And what are you going to do for us today, Tim?
Well, I'm going to sing you a song.
That's very nice of you. What are you going to sing us?
I'm going to sing you Wonderland.
OK, lovely. Off you go, then.
Today is going to be the day that we're going to find out about you. Right now, you shouldn't try to
And then I'd finish the act by saying, now, not only does Tim sing, he also does tap dancing, don't you, Tim?
Yes, I do.
Would you like to come out and do your tap dancing?
No.
Why not?
I can't be stopped.
Oh, come on, Tim, it's part of the show, don't let me down.
Fuck off.
That's a very rude thing to say, Tim.
Fuck off.
Right, I'm going to teach you a lesson you won't forget. I'm going to burn him to death.
I don't really do.
That's how I started my career.
Which of your characters is closest to your own personality? Whoops. Sorry.
I think, like you, it's Tim Nice but dim. Yeah, not that I want to make you look an idiot, you know. Yeah, I think Tim, really.
All right. Where do you stand on the Maastricht Agreement and the whole federalist debate?
Right. Is there anything else you'd like to ask?
Yes. Are you committed to going into Europe?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I know the snow's been a bit dodgy the last few years, but definitely going to give Maribel another whirl. A tree!
Do you record all of your TV shows in front of a live audience, or is it canned laughter?
It's exactly like this. We've got sets behind, you know, we have the slobs set. We'll come out and do the slobs thing. And it's always the most nerve-wracking thing for me, because it's in front of an audience. You know, we do about 7 sketches a night and play in other bits in the middle and stuff. But it's fun. I do enjoy doing it. But you'll notice, I know I had a video out recently where there are little outtakes and things on it. And in the background, you can hear on a lot of them, everyone shouting, "Wanker!" And that's because that's what they do. They shout wanker. Because I go wrong a lot, you see. When you go wrong, you have to stop and start again. And every time I go wrong, everyone just points at me and shouts, "Wanker!"
What's the matter with you, sport?
Just leave.
What's happening, Stanley?
The man's gone mad, Pummy. Oh, do I go straight away then? Oh, my God, I've done it again.
I went to recording a Blackadder before I was ever doing this. And Rowan didn't come out at the beginning and say anything. You know, it's just, ladies and gentlemen, Rowan Atkinson, and he'd... come out and he wouldn't say hello. He'd sort of sit there. And then when he was doing... You know, he'd be doing his lines, Baldrick, I'd rather be covered from head to foot in my own excrement. And all that stuff. And then he'd go wrong, and every time he went wrong, he'd get cross with himself. You could see him getting cross and tense, and the audience would all stop laughing. And you could see him thinking, oh, my God, they don't think I'm funny. But it wasn't that at all. It was because we all loved him so much. We were all concerned for him, and we were, come on. So we couldn't laugh, you know. So when I came to do my show, I thought, right, well, that's what I'll do. Because I go wrong a lot, what I have to do is gee everyone up. So I'll come on at the beginning, do a thing about, you know, we've all got big egos, so I need you all to... If we go wrong, you need to say to Paul and Kathy, never mind, love, we think you're marvellous. Will you do that? And then I say, but I've got the biggest ego, so if I go wrong, you've got to shout, wanker! And, of course, they love it, you know. Right, now put it all together.
Bong bong ooze, bong bong that, bong bong.
Marvellous.
Thank you. And I'll get you.
Right, now do it again.
Right.
Right, now do it again without the bings the bong. Oh, no, shit, I got it. But once someone say, you fat wanker! And I suddenly, you know, I don't mind being, but I'm fat. I know I am fat. I am fat now, anyway. I put on a lot of weight since my son was born. And I have. I said, you know, my wife says you're getting so fat. I said, not as fat as him. No, I'm not that fat, you know. It's great, it's just like me. Big smile. Big fart. Lovely.
Why do you have this fascination for black and white spoof movies?
Black and white?
Yes.
Well, because, you know, I was born in 1961 when it was black and white. You know, everything was black and white in 1961, wasn't it? My first 4 years. I don't know if something happens to your brain. I cannot remember. I remember in about 1965, something happens and Help, the Beatles film, came out, and it was colour. Before that, all my memories are black and white. You know, I remember falling off my bike in black and white. I do. And certainly the First World War happened in black and white, didn't it? I mean, everyone, and everyone ran like that. Everyone, certainly. That's... it's fact, you know. In over the top. And you see all these old veterans saying terrible carnage, but it kind of looks funny. But I remember seeing a documentary with Stafford Cripps, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, in about 1947, and he was in Downing Street, 11 Downing Street, and he was sitting there, and it was sort of wide shop, and he was saying, no, I expect you're all worried about inflation. And on the word inflation, it stopped, it cut to a close-up on inflay. And the close-up was in, like that. And the shun came over his shut mouth. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. So it went inflate, only the voice, shun, you know. And I found that very amusing. And it really all came from that, really.
Tell me, Grayson, do you think association football will improve with the introduction of the new professional player?
No, Mr. Chumley-Warner. Today's amateurs will never be bettered. You can't expect a professional paid to do nothing but play football all day to achieve the same level of physical fitness as a man who works in a chip shop all week and only plays football on Saturdays.
I must say, with all due deference, Grayson, I disagree with you.
If you don't mind, Mr. Chumley-Warner, you're quite wrong.
The next sheet is short film to settle the matter.
It's full house at Wembley for one of the top matches of the 1933 season. One of the leading teams of today, Arsenal, formerly the village Arsenal, against the Liverpool team of 1991, who are playing for the first time in black and white. And they may also be surprised by the pace of the black and white game. Liverpool may be professionals trained to the peak of physical fitness, but Arsenal aren't daunted. There's Nat, mind your legs please, Nuthouse warming up. And there's the captain, Charlie Charles, one of the famous Charles brothers. There's the right-wing demon, Wilf, adapted for speed finish, showing us his splendid skills. And in goal, the reliable hands that stand between the posts Hartley. Charlie Charles shaking hands with the referee, Mr. Hollingsworth from Cheltenham, and how touching. He's knitted him a lovely scarf. Some of the other Arsenal players are passing around some shag and some nice-looking sandwiches. How they are. But Liverpool have taken account of the whistle, and they're off, and it's a goal. Sorry I didn't quite catch it. He can't turn around that quickly. Stan Hartley didn't even have time to put his cigarette out. And the Liverpool team celebrate. They seem to be kissing. That's not very sure about that. So, Arsenal kick off. Their tactics obviously very, very different. Always a keen eye for the ball. Charlie Charles even spots when he's missed it. He shoots for goal. And it's a throw into Liverpool. The Liverpool player throws clean over their heads. And into the goal. 2, 3, 4. The only glimmer of hope for the Gunners is when they get the ball out to Finney on the wing. What's he going to do with it? Well, exactly what he was doing earlier. That's all he can do with it. So, 10-0 at half-time, Liverpool go back to the dressing room, but for Arsenal, it's some light refreshments. And for the crowd, top-class half-time entertainment with the man they call Mr. Banjo, Mr. George Banjo. And the crowd found that most pleasant. So the second half, and Arsenal must have taken a stern talking to because they've come out with a markedly different approach to the game. The whistle blows. Yes, it's just over the line. And Liverpool have suddenly taught Ned Nuthouse how to celebrate. Nuthouse's goal inspires the rest of the team. Goal! Some of the Liverpool players are a trifle unhappy about that, and the referee's taking out his little black book. It's the Shorter Oxford Dictionary. He wants to look up what some of those words mean. And he's found one, and he's bringing on his mother to disprove it. 10 all and a minute to go. Charlie Charles waiting on the wing. It's almost as if the ball was glued to his feet. Heads up, and it's all over. And a sporting finish to a sporting contest.
Well, that's my favourite. Such fun that was.
How many voices did you do on Splitting Image?
Oh, I don't know, there were 4 of us did them all. Who did I do? Douglas Hard. Oh, no, that's Leon Britton. Oops. Leon Britton, Douglas Hard. Oh! Jimmy Graves. Kane Livingstone occasionally, but only occasionally. I did. Neil Kinnock. That's who it was. As I say, I only did it occasionally. Occasionally Prince Charles.
There's been a bomb in Oxford Street! There's been a bomb in Oxford Street!
Who's responsible?
You are, you dreadful old witch!
Good morning. I apologise for any possibility that I may have misled the House by giving the impression that I was a competent minister who knew what he was talking about.
May I say, David, that I can't help noticing you bear an uncanny resemblance to Michelangelo's David.
Really, David?
It's the proud features, the strong jaw, and the athletic physique.
Come to think of it, David, you're remarkably similar to Michelangelo's David as well.
Oh, do you think so?
Yes, you've got no balls at all.
Oh, David, so cruel and yet so classically good looking.
After the 1987 election, I remember David Steele saying that actually the reason the Liberal Democrats didn't win was because of how we portrayed them on Spitting Image. because they would have won otherwise. I was rather proud of that, I think.
With the dawning of a new political era, can we expect Tory boy to become a Tony boy?
Well, maybe. Please, I will try my best to... That's quite a good idea, actually, yeah. If you've done your homework, boy, nobody believes in education more than me. Like me, like me, like me. But what I'm not sure about is what the fuck is going to come out of my mouth next. And I'm really, really scared.
Which is your favourite character?
I think it's got to be Stavros, isn't it? I'm a love Stavros. I did like doing him, innit? But I had to give him up because he was too pop. Because otherwise I would have done my show, and if Stavros had been in the middle of it, innit, it would have been terrible because people would have said, no, it's not, it's very good Stavros, but everything else is a load of shit wank.
I'm gonna make this for my daughters recently have a little babe. It's quite good, isn't it? You know, it's a lot of trouble, little babe, isn't it? First, you got to think of a name. I'm gonna make loads of suggestions for them. Kevin, Brian, Howard, Vernon, Cedric. But my daughters say, no, perhaps something a little more feminine, what with her being a girl and that. And in the end, they settle on Fifi Trixie Arsenal. She's now 2 months old, and I must say, she got lovely looks. Some people say she looked just like her dad. A lot of other people say she looked just like her mum. But I'm a wreck, she looked just like Roy Kinnear.
Yeah, why did Stavros support Arsenal?
Why? Because he's a North London boy, you know, so he had to because he lived in Fisbury Park, you know, off Green Lace, near Horsey. And all the peeps around there have to support the arse, innit? But mainly it's because I could get away with very bad jokes, like there's nothing I like better than going on a Saturday afternoon than going up the arse with her inside the doors. I'm going to see the dog. He say, blimey, Stav, you look like something the cat's just brought up. I'ma say, tell it me, matey. I'm a done been surprised if I'ma not find myself knocking on a heaven's doorbell. So we go through the whole palaver, you know, drop your trousers, the cold hand on the Maltesers. Right, let's have a look down the old nanny goat. I'ma go, he say, flipping heck, Stav. Your tonsils is swole up like a pair of dogs down below. Describe the Sims to me. So I'ma tell him. It's a feel like somebody has played the drums inside my head. My nose is go like a trumpet. My throat is full of guitar. It's like a bloody non-stop Rick Astley concert going on. He almost never came to anything because the first time I did him was at this benefit concert for a Colombian disaster. Earthquake disaster in 1985 at the Royal Albert Hall. There were 5,000 people there, and I went out and went, hello, everybody, peeps. I'm going to tell you something. It's so lovely to be here. And I started getting slow hand clapped. And I was slow hand clapped off by 5,000 people. I lasted about a minute. I went off, you know. Oh well. That's the end of that character. I said, what happened there? I said, well, did you not hear the bloke before? I said, no. And this Colombian bloke had just been out before me and said, thank you very much for coming. I lost my whole family in the thing. I'm the only survivor from my whole family. I'm really pleased. You know, and I've been backstage all pacing nervously about my knee. Hello, everybody, peeps.
It's my other shop, you see, in Greece. Bethnal, Greece, East London. We get so much crab in there, it's really beginning to get on my Alan Wake. It's the same thing every day. All very good until 11 o'clock, the pubs they shut. Time genitals, please. Then we get the charge of the light ale brigade is come down. And I'm gonna tell you, some of them is pesky little pisshead or what? Last night, for instance, this bloke come in, is completely pig-whimpering, lose control of his bodilies. He say, "Oi, Stavros, you greasy bastard." I'ma say to him, "I'm no grease, I'm very clean and tight." "You cheeky little Kuwaiti tanker." He say to me, "What, if you're so clean and tight, how come every time I'ma have one of your kebabs, I'ma puke up after?" I'ma say to him, "Maybe, matey, it's got something to do with the 13 pints of lager you had before." He say, "Well, anyway, you don't speak props." I'ma say, "After 13 pints of lager, mate, you don't speak so bloody good."
Maybe I should bring him back. Poor little Stav. Why is he kicking the bucket and snuffing now?
How was Loads of Money born and why was he a plasterer?
Well, Loads of Money was born on a station with Paul and me. We were on Highbury and Islington Station, North London line, and we were waiting for a train, and there was, you know, we were just sort of standing there. It's about 86, 87 or something. Bored. And we talk rubbish a lot when we're bored. And I saw this piece of copper pipe on the other side and of the track, and it had some rubber around it. And I said to Paul, "See that copper pipe there? You could melt that down. You could get the copper out, bosh, lovely, there's money in that." And Paul, "Oh, yes, melt that down, all right. Lovely, take that on, bish bash, straight in the Black & Decker smelter. Bosh, get you that stuff out, get your copper out, there's money in that, loads of money. Yeah, you could do that." Well, I thought, that's it, OK. We've said that. But Paul, if you watch the Fast Show, you'll know, he thinks if a joke's worth telling once, it's worth telling 1,000 times. By the time the train came 10 minutes later, he was like, "See that station? You melt that down, you could. It's money. See that train there? You melt that down." So we got on the train, you smelt this train down, and you smelt it, lovely. Got on the bus on the way home, this bus, lovely, smelt that down, there's money in that. So I got home and I thought that was it. Every night down the pub for the next year, "You melt that down." And then Charlie goes, "You just melt that down, there's money in that." And then about a year later, I thought, well, there must be something in this. He finds it funny. And also, I was looking for a character that was more like a sort of Rick Mayall character, because I'm quite a nice person, as you obviously have all realised by that. And I loved the idea of doing someone naughty. And I just loved Rick when he used to come out on stage and just go, "Aren't I great? Aren't I?" And I just so loved the idea of not having a script, not needing a script for 10 minutes, just being able to go, no other words. "Do you think I'm sexy?" So I thought, well, we'll make him a bit like that. "I've got loads of money, you're poor, I'm rich."
"I've got piles! Piles of money! I've got it coming out of my arse these days, haven't I? Loads of money! Go on, you lot grovel for my money. Look at them all grovelling for my money. Go on, grovel up, grovel up, grovel up. Liverpool goalkeeper, isn't he?
The best gig I've ever done, I think, I mean, the one I've most enjoyed in my life, was a benefit for the nurses. In '88, the nurses were on strike. And they were all on strike, and there was some benefit in Ealing Town Hall. And I was top of the bill, and there were lots of other people came on first. "Yeah, like the government, get them out. Yeah." And everyone, yeah. All the nurses there. And then I came on, and I just came on at the front. Came on and just went, "Get back to work, you scum!" And they loved it.
All you need to know about politics is that Mrs. Thatcher done a lot of good for the country, but you wouldn't want to shag it. That's all. I don't go to football so much now, actually, because, you know, it's £4 on the terraces now, isn't it? It's not nearly enough! down the opera now, don't I? You know, the opera. Lonesome man, lonesome man, She's great, the opera, isn't it? Me and the lads, right, from the football, we all dress up, right, in the old black tie, white shirt, the old long dinner jacket, right, little tail on it. We call it penguins, our mob, right? Go down Covent Garden, right, down the garden, go to the opera house, go, oi, mate, how much are your most expensive tickets? He says, 100 quid. I go, cheap tonight, then we'll have loads. Go in, right, go to the bar before it starts to get pissed up, drink all that champagne. I always drink champagne, best drop a lager money can buy champagne, I usually get the first round, I go, oi, mate, I want 10 pints of champagne and 2 pints of champagne top, all right? It's great opera, isn't it? I tell you, especially if old Placido Domingo's playing, because he's a bollocks, that geezer, isn't he? I'll tell you, when he comes on, that is when the singing starts. Domingo, Domingo, Domingo! Domingo, Domingo, Domingo! We help him out, don't we? We help him out. He loves us doing that. When he gets to one of his arias, we go, because he's Placido! Placido Domingo, he's by far the greatest talent the opera's ever seen.
What was your scariest moment as a performer?
It's Nelson Mandela's birthday concert at Wembley, and I was there writing jokes for Lenny Henry. And I ran out. I dried up about 2 in the afternoon, and Lenny was exhausted, and there'd been millions of problems. He said, oh, go on, H, go out. Oh, God, Len. Oh, go on, please. I said, I haven't got any gear. He said, borrow my gear. I put on his jacket and went out. It was loads of money. Hey, what's that? So 80,000 people there, 3 billion supposedly watching on television, you know. What's that? And you get 80,000 people going, oh, some money. I felt like Hitler. It was quite... it was horrible, honestly. What? You know, loads of money. In fact, I did bugger all money there as well, didn't I?
So I come down here, right? Shut your face. I come down here, right? I knocked on the door at Wembley, right? The guy goes, what do you want? I said, I've come for me free Nelson Mandela. He says, what are you talking about? Now, up north, right, we've got a drink called the Nelson, and it's half beer, half vodka, and half Jay's fluid. 1 drop of that, and you go blind in one eye, and your arm drops off. And I thought that Nelson Mandela was like a yuppie version of that with a cherry in it. So I said, where's me free one? He says, nah, it's a bloke. Well, I didn't know anything about this Nelson Mandela bloke, but if he's got a drink like that named after him, he's all right by me.
I met Nelson Mandela once. I went to see him, and he sort of stood up in front of all these politicians and people and, thank you. Whoa! Where are you? Very blessed. Thank you. Supported us. Word. What impressive. And all this stuff. Talked away for a bit. Then afterwards, and I'd found Alexi Sale there. I was talking to him, go on, go and say hello. No, you go and say hello. Go on. So I went up, you know, stood in line. Then he came up and said, thank you for your support. Thank you very much for being free. I mean, I still do. There are certain people who I meet who I just become completely with, you know. I met the late Princess Diana about a year and a half ago or something, and I thought, oh, she's, you know, looking forward to it. I went to this, this literary review lunch, and I knew she was going to be there giving a speech, but I didn't think I'd get to speak to her. But, you know, in my mind, I was going, oh, yes, hello, yes. I'm great. I'm really quite handsome, too. And all this. And then I was sort of talking to someone, and suddenly there was this voice behind when, Your Royal Highness, as she was then, Your Royal Highness, this is Harry Enfield. And suddenly there she was, this huge, tall, beautiful thing with these gorgeous eyes. You're going, how do you do? And I'm, no. And she said, she told a joke. And she went, I'm sorry I'm late, I had to stop and have a lover's tryst. And instead of normally, that's a good joke, you know, and she was in the paper all the time at the time, having this lover and this lover, you know. And instead of going, oh, yes, in the papers again, are you? I just went, and I felt my brain, you know, going whoosh into my feet, you know. Hello, yes, that was true. Yes, I was late too. She said, oh, why were you late? I said, the traffic is a bad. She looked around, you know. I made another faux pas later on. I wasn't listening. She was making her speech. I wasn't listening. And, you know, I was a bit nervous and still worried about everything. Spending too much time eating. And I just heard her say, to be in such distinguished intellectual company. And I instinctively went, hear, hear. And a few people laughed and there was a bit of silence, you know. And she sort of looked at me like that. And then after she'd finished the speech, this woman said to me, how could you be so rude? I said, well, it's not rude. I am distinguished intellectual company. She said, no, that's not what she said. She did. That wasn't her whole sentence. What she said is, I expect you're wondering what a stupid princess like me is doing in such distinguished...
Which character do you most regret creating due to people coming up to you on the street and repeating the catchphrase at you?
You don't want to ask me that question? Do you, for about 2 or 3 years, and I still get it. It was a nightmare, you know, everywhere. 20 silk cut, please. You don't want to buy a silk cut? You know, oh, God. Morning. You don't want to say good morning? You don't want to walk down this street. And the only time I remember really going off the handle, I was in a bad mood. It'd been a bad morning. I was in Cornwall. I'd been walking the dog and the dog had run off, but I couldn't find it. And on the beach in Cornwall, excuse me, have you seen a black dog? You don't want a black dog. No, have you seen it? No, we haven't. You don't want to walk down this beach. And this went on for about half an hour. And finally I went to this other beach, and there was this family standing by a Renault Espace. A sort of children, dad, mum, and this man said, you don't want to go to that beach. I said, you don't want to be the 1000th person to say that to me today. And his face, he just went, oh. And you could see his wife going, how could you say that to him? He's on his holiday, you know. His face is mortified. Oh,
only me?
Hello, Dad.
Just thought I'd pop round and have a look at your new place. I'm not stopping, no. Won't even take me coat off. So, this your new house, is it?
Yeah, that's right.
Not very nice, is it? You don't want to live here. You want to live in Hendon, near me.
That's why we moved from Hendon, Dad.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
What?
You don't want to hang the coat up like that. What do you suppose the hook's for when it's at home, eh? Hey, you want to use a coat hook in all its actuality. Oh, well, I'm off. I'm not staying. How about a nice cup of tea? What's that you doing there?
Painting.
Oh, you don't want to do it like that. You don't want to use a roller. You want to use a paintbrush. It's much quicker.
Oh, thank you. I don't mind.
What's going on here, then?
Pouring your tea.
Oh, you don't want to do it like that. You don't want to put the milk in first. You want to put the tea in first and then the milk. Go on, you'll have to make another pot now. What colour's that supposed to be?
It's pale blue.
Pale blue? Pale blue? You don't want a pale blue in a room like this. You want a misty buff or a mint sunrise or an oak funnel. Here, I'll give you an hand. Hey, oh, just get this ladder. Now, I don't believe you wanted to do that, did you?
Which characters have you developed that you've not been allowed to perform on television yet, and why not?
There's been a few I haven't been allowed to do because they're crap. I've tried them out and they haven't been very good. And the only one that sort of got banned, everyone got cowardly, I had, the Addams Family off of telly. Well, I wrote the Jerry Addams Family. They're bonkers and they're loony. And I was Jerry, well, his beard. And his wife, who also had a beard. And his daughter, who too had a beard. And it was all like, I'm going out, Dad. And there was like Thing, You know, thing, the hand, but with a gun in it, you know? And it was like... and it was all sort of the daughter saying, I'm going, aye, Dad. And him saying, daughter, I want you to have a long life. Nobody wants you to have a longer life than me. But I can't be responsible for what happens to you if you try to step out the door. And her saying, I want you to live long, but I can't be responsible for what happens to you. Nobody is more reasonable than me. And the mum saying, will you come and sit round the table? Come on, there's peas, your favourite peas. And Jerry going, no one wants peas more than me.
Who is considerably richer based on, and how did this character develop?
Oh, well, he's just based on most of us, really, isn't he? You know, I used to have a mini Metro until about 2 years ago, and you'd just drive up to anyone in a BMW or something. If you'd look into the car, see who was there, you'd see someone looking. Metro. Oh, yes, I'm considerably richer than you. You know, and they kind of look at you like that, don't they? They make sure you're looking at them and then look away, yes, or... I'm too rich to look at you. But you can look and admire me.
What's Norbert Smith doing these days?
Well, I suppose he's probably dead, isn't he? Gosh, that was a long time ago. That was just after loads of money I did him. I think he might have been a swearing Scotsman. You fucking fucker, give me some drugs. In Plane Spotting. But...
Hello. Sir Norbert Smith, actor, is 80 this week. And in this special television tribute, we look back on his distinguished career on stage and in films.
Oh, darling, I feel so awful and ghastly and frightful and sordid and dirty.
Oh, darling, you mustn't feel like that, you mustn't.
But, darling, I do. Can't you see I feel somehow branded with this terrible, indelible stain that'll never go away, never?
Darling, it needn't be.
No, it'll never come out. Somehow this shirt will never be the same. This stain will remain with me for the rest of my life, and I'll always be awful and ghastly and sordid and dirty and nasty.
Stop it, darling, stop it. I can't bear it. Because there is something. You said so. Just use it, darling, for me. And I promise you'll be clean and pure and white and lovely and heavenly and fragrant with an almost lemony freshness.
His career was now at its lowest ebb, and his off-screen drinking started to become his on-screen drinking when he was teamed with Richard Smashed, Dick Booze, Oliver Guinness and Peter Apist in The Dogs of Death. As a group of slightly over-the-hill commandos, they stormed a Nazi castle and drank their way through the budget in just under 2 months.
Goodbye, Herr Mayer.
It wasn't perhaps your best film.
No.
Do you think it could be said to be ahead of its time?
Yes, I don't think that English audiences were quite ready to see a group of such distinguished British actors making such fools of themselves. But I did enjoy making it. In fact, it was on that film that I first met Jack Wilding, of course, who became a very good friend of mine. In fact, of ours. In fact, did you have an affair with him, no?
Oh, yes. He was a marvellous, imaginative lover.
Oh, he had a wonderful sense of fun like that, Jack did.
Do you think that Smashy and Nicey helped to kill off the careers of people like Dave Lee Travis and others?
We didn't mean to kill anyone off. You know, all we did was we thought, why has no one done a DJ before? Everyone listens to Radio 1. Why has no one ever done a DJ? It seems silly, so we'll do DJs.
Fab-fortastic. That was the, Beatles, Beatles, don't you? With 8 days a week.
It's only 7 days in a week, mate.
Right, thanks, mate.
Don't mention it.
But I think you find that what the Beatles, I love the Beatles, don't you, were saying
I don't care what the Beatles, I love the Beatles, don't you, was saying, mate. There's only 7 days in a week. Never longer, never shorter. It's the law. Right. Starts on a Monday, goes through to a Sunday with a Wednesday, Friday type stuff in the middle and the weekend at the end.
I I love the weekend, don't you?
Me too, mate.
Right, well, one thing I do know is that today is Tuesday, which is quite literally... Tuesday.
I love Tuesdays, don't you, mate?
Certainly do, mate. It's one of the best between Monday and Wednesday type days we've...
It's the only between Monday and Wednesday type day we got, mate. It may not have the glamour and excitement of a Saturday night or the mournfulness of a Monday morn, but it's our Tuesday, the good old-fashioned, honest-to-goodness, down-to-earth, great British Tuesday. And if those bureaucrats and other bonkers tracks try and take our Tuesday away from us, they'll have to get past me first. And if they think I'm going to start my show... doodle-doo and Gunton Morgan Mungers, they got another thing coming.
I don't think they are going to do that, mate.
Right, but if they did, it certainly would be a garlic mungus intrusion of our...
It'd be frog-a-dabba-dobulously bonkers, mate. Because what makes a nation is not its borders or its monetary system. No. It's its radio stations, such as Radio Fab FM, and the people who work therein, such as you, Nicey. You are what makes Britain great.
Thanks, mate. And so are you, mate.
Nothing's changed. But nothing's changed, has it? You know, when Chris Evans came to Radio 1, he would be, you'd listen on Monday morning, did you have a good weekend? I did. I went to a party. And he got £1 million a year for it, you know.
How proud are you of the influence that English for Aliens seems to have had on the Teletubbies?
Oh, well, that's true. English for Aliens. Does everyone remember that? Oh, a few. Three! That's true. Well, we started it, really. I think we started Teletubbies, and I give you notice, we intend to sue you to fuck.
No, that's a lamppost.
Tree?
All right, it's a bloody tree, then. What's this, then? It's a shop. Shop.
Shop.
Yes, a shop. You buy things in a shop. No, we're just learning the words. All right, since you've done that, let's have a look at some of the things you bought in the shop. Yes, all right, we'll let that one go. Now, what's this outside the shop? No, not again. Right, let's have a look at this dog. That's a dog. Let's get on with the lesson. Now, what new word have we learned today?
Tree.
No, not tree, shop. More shopping today. Yes, all right, that's quite enough shopping. Now, what are you looking at? No, please, stop that. No, please. No. Jesus Christ.
The day after that went out, it's the best response I've ever got from a member of the public. It was just brilliant to any of my work. I was walking down the road, down Parkway in Camden. This lorry came past me. There were lots of other people walking along. Lorry came past me, stopped. There's a tree there. The driver got out, didn't even look at me. Big fat bloke. He looked at the tree and went, "Tree!" Got back in his lorry and pissed off. It really cheered me up, I tell you.
Were the old gits based on your dad?
No, the old gits were based on someone. And Paul used to work with the Hackney Council, this old bloke, and he'd go in, "Hello, how are you today, Mr. Smith?" "None the better for your asking." And Paul would be discussing with his mates at Hackney Council, you know, politics and stuff, and then, you know, India or something, some crisis in India, and then this guy would sort of listen. At the end, he'd just go, That Gandhi geezer, he done a lot of good work for peace. Let himself down wearing fucking nappies, though.
Yeah, apparently poor old George over the roads had to go into an home.
Yeah, I heard. Very sad. And that heartless son of his is already renting out his room for £100 a week.
100 quid, eh?
Yeah.
I do hope nothing happens to you. I don't know what I'd do stuck here all on my own with only an extra 100 quid a week.
Apparently they knew it was time to put old George away when his hearing started to go and he couldn't hear them. He started seeing things as well, the poor soul. Strange little things.
The only thing I'm seeing at the moment is your stupid duck puppet. Yeah, I went to the library this morning and very thoughtfully got you some books.
Oh, that's very thoughtful. What are they?
Don't be a burden. There is a heaven. And Time's Up Grandad.
Do you think you'll be an old git when you get older?
Get out of it. I already am. I am. I'm horrible. I tell you, a few months ago, I picked up this child. This child dropped litter. I hate people who drop litter. I saw this child at about 8, standing there staring me out. And he dropped his ice cream paper, you know, and I just picked him up and put him in the bin. Like, oh, you can't fuck off! Fuck off! This horrible little 8-year-old, you know. No doubt I could be sued and all that, but if you ask me, the whole world's going down the drain. Yeah, I already am an old git.
Are the slobs planning on having any more children apart from Frogmiller and Spudulika?
Spudulika? It's exotic. You said Spudulika.
No.
Don't argue. Well, they had one more. They had a brown kid called Canoe. After Canoe Reeves. They might have some more, yeah. They might have some more, I don't know, mozzarella. Or pizza. Or something more exotic like rubella.
Ow!
That's it, Mrs. Slob. Very well.
Why now? Is it on? Is it working?
I don't know, do I?
Look, you're not taking this at all seriously.
Push down, dear. Push down.
I am smoking a fade.
Give me some boys. Boys' names. Anyone got any ideas? Wanker. What, after you? Nike. That's a good name. We'll call him Nike. Or, after the ancient Greeks, we could call him Herpes.
Has Waynetta ever changed her tracksuit?
Changed her tracksuit? No. And she can't, actually, because, well, the padding, certainly, that we wear underneath is made of this sort of stuff that, if you wash it, it ruins it. And they're too cheapskate to get us new padding. So, actually, we've had it for 6 years now, and obviously wearing it, especially under these lights, you know how hot you are, but in that padding, you just sweat like a pig. And it's just drenched with sweat. And it absolutely stinks. And after one series, it's put in a plastic bag and left to fester for another year. It's true. And this stuff festers, and the next year we go to put it on, and it really is. It wakes you up if you're asleep, I tell you.
For?
My birthday.
What about your birthday?
You forgot it.
I never. When is it?
Yesterday.
I never forgot it.
Well, you never got me a present.
I did.
Well, why didn't you give it to me then?
'Cause I forgot, didn't I, you daft boot?
Well, where is it then?
Outside. I couldn't bring it in here, could I?
Why?
'Cause it's a
red?
I don't like brown.
Well, I'm gonna paint it.
Could you see me laughing in those? So I'd never seen Kathy in the makeup. And she came out and she had all these big yellow-headed spots on. And I was trying to go, it's brown, you stupid girl. And it took about an hour to record one sketch just because these pussy old spots on her.
I presume that Brookside inspired the long-running Scousers. If not, what did?
Well, it did slightly. I actually got the idea straight away from... I went to a cup final and it was Liverpool against Wimbledon. And I was walking through the crowd and there were millions of Scousers had gone there who didn't have tickets and they were all pissed up. And I was walking through and suddenly people were coming up to me going, all right, Ace, you got a ticket? Sorry, I haven't got a ticket, you know. And this one guy came up to me and said, Ace, give us a ticket. Oh, I love your show. I'm your best mate, Ace. I really like you. You're great. You're fucking lovely. Have you got a ticket? I said, I'm sorry, I've only got one. He said, fuck off, I hope you die of cancer.
Hey, do you want a cup of tea, Barry?
I don't, I've just had one.
Hey, well, I'm making one. Do you want one or not?
Jesus, do you have to make such a fuss about it?
I'm not making a friggin' fuss about it.
Make a cup of tea or don't. Just get off my friggin' back.
Don't talk to me like that. I'll break your friggin' neck, all right?
Come on, calm down, calm down. It's only a cup of tea we're talking about here.
Yeah, he's right, Sam. It's only a cup of tea.
Yeah. What do you mean, yeah? This is a cup of tea we're talking about here.
I know it's a friggin' cup of tea, don't I?
You obviously don't, do you? You don't know nothing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you two break it. Look, what's all this about, Gary?
You keep out of it, Barry.
You telling me to keep out of it?
Are you asking me whether I'm telling you to keep out of it?
Yeah, I am.
Hey, all right, you two, break it up, eh? What's going on here, eh?
You asking me what's going on here?
Yeah, a friggin' am.
I'm gonna bless it in a minute.
Oh, yeah, you just try it.
Kettle's boiled. Oh, great. Tea, anyone? Yeah.
Was your first sexual experience similar to Kevin's?
Mind you, I was back in business. Now, my first sexual experience was, I was 18, and the girl I was sleeping with was about 24, and I'd been boasting to her about all my sexual experiences. And she got a bit pissed, and she was very randy. We went to bed, and I started thinking, oh, this is pretty good, I'm pretty good at this, fucking terrified. And then after about half a minute, she went, oh, you've never done this before, have you? And I went, no. She said, never mind, let's try again tomorrow. She went, oh, all right then. We went out for 2 years after that, and she taught me how to do it. Yes.
Perry's back from Manchester today, isn't he?
No.
Well, that's nice. Have you missed him this week?
No.
I expect you're excited about seeing him, though, aren't you?
No.
Oh, you are a silly.
Ah, get off! I hate you!
All right, I'll Kev.
Why, Perry? How was Manchester?
Yeah, you know, results sorted, top mad for it.
Did you go and see Oasis?
I might have done, who's asking?
Oh, me.
Oh, yeah, right, sorted, top mad for it.
Well, brilliant.
Yeah, they were great, you know, but I don't know, like, you know, because I was so out of it, you know.
How was your auntie?
That has been. I don't know, who cares? You know, the way I look at it, Kev, you know, there's only two types of people, right? There's us and there's wankers.
Yeah, right, our para, sorted.
So how's this dead town been while I've been away?
Oh, it's been a right bummer.
Chill out, Kev, and get one on.
Oh, cheers, Perry. I'm in para. Sorted. Yeah, it's been a rollerblading week. Yeah, I've I've been in my room most of the week, listening to Oasis records. I know all the words.
That's totally uncool, you know. Learning words is what you do at school. Teachers teach you how to be stupid.
Hey.
Hello, Perry. Did you have a nice time in Manchester?
Yes, thank you, Miss Petson. Yeah, it was very cold, though.
Gosh, you've drawn a little bit of a beard on. How very grown up.
Thank you. I really like your mum, you know. I feel like I'd like to shag her.
Yeah, I'd like to shag your mum too.
Right, I'm off out. I'm going to go and beat up a couple of Cockney bastards. You coming?
Yeah, great. Yeah, I'll have some bread and dripping for us teaser, mother.
Kevin, why are you talking in that extraordinary way?
I don't know what that's talking about.
Why are you pretending to be a northerner? You sound very silly.
You don't know nought. I'm real. You're just loving their lies. I hate you.
I was going to say how I met Oasis. I just remembered. Who's met Oasis? I met them. Yeah, I did. It was great. I went to this party and there was Liam. And he'd go, you know, this is like what I'm like in real life, a wanker. So you suddenly see, you go into a party, hi, how you doing? Look, there's Liam of Oasis. It's I better avoid him. And I knew Patsy Kensit a bit from years ago. I knew her a little bit, you know. And she'd come, hello, darling, how are you? This is Liam. All right, you know. Hello. And then on the way, but the best thing was, I didn't talk to him, I was too scared. But on the way out, it was brilliant. So I was in the hall with my wife, and Patsy and Liam went by, and Patsy went, Liam went by, you know, he walked by. And Patsy, and ignored me, and Patsy started saying, bye, darling, mwah. I said, bye, Patsy, mwah. The way you do. And then Liam did, it was just brilliant, he did this, right? He went... So cool. I've been doing it ever since. We wrote the Oasis sketch after that, because I've been going around like that for ages. I saw Noel, too, in the street outside where I live, and he was... this funny little dirty chap walked past me. And I walked past, and I thought, I know that chap. I turned around, and he was turning around at exactly the same point. And we looked at each other for about 2 seconds, then he went... like that. And I went, hello! And I turned around, you know... I was thinking, why didn't I say hello? Why didn't I go... Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you very much. Good night. They don't love me.